Yo, RX back with another recap of UFC 293 Strickland versus Adesanya. We are back after an insane ending to the card. The actual card was fine, nothing that great about it, but it ended great, and of course we'll talk about that in a little bit. Of course, you know what I'm talking about, because I'm, of course, putting this out on Monday because I'm fucking lazy. Yeah, when I say Sunday or Monday about these, it's mainly gonna be Monday, but you never know. So, but yeah. 293 was a very decent card. It outperformed my expectations by a landslide, but it was still just fine. It's not card of the year. It's not even the best fucking. It was fine. It was like the most okay card you can get. You had some highlights, you had some lowlights, and it happened. So yeah, there's not much to say about the card, but. I'm sorry. But, yeah, enough rambling, that's all I'm doing. Let's talk about what happened, fully. So, and this will be better than a breakdown, because, I should talk about the card, because there should talk about it, so, yeah. So, before I do that, please like, comment, sub, 100 subs goal by the end of the year. And as always, you want to break down some recaps. You want to recap some breakdowns. That doesn't make sense. Let's just recap fights. I'll shut the fuck up. We had 12 fights. We had 3 early prelims, and we start with the first early prelim, which was Kevin Jousset versus Kiefer BDK Crosbie. It happened. I knew nothing about either of these guys before the fight, and now I know a little more. I'll, of course, start with who won. Kevin Jousset. He looked fine. He didn't look amazing, but he had his moments, and he did get the win in the end. Yeah, he looked perfectly fine. Nothing too great about his win. Okay, also, it didn't help that he beat a newcomer who probably isn't that good and didn't look that good. Yeah, he's just fine. I'm not very impressed. I want to see more of him before I say I'm impressed. And yeah, I'm very I actually did not know he fought Jack Della. Yeah, I definitely want to see a little more from him because yeah, he looked decent in this fight. But you're fighting another dude who's making his debut, and he didn't look that good. Neither of them did. So, yes, this should be a contender series. If we're being honest, this should have been on the contender series. And if the fight went like this on the contender series, Jousset would have had a contract. And I'm okay with that. This is a contender series level fight. Neither guy looked that good, but one guy was clearly better, and that was Jousset. So. Yeah, I don't have much to say. Jousset looked fine. To talk about Kiefer, there's a lot to say. He showed up and he fought. He looked very subpar. And yeah, not that Mike Jackson. Yeah, he's not too great from what I've seen in this fight. Maybe he's decent, but I didn't see too much to make me think that. Like, just because he beat Alex Oliveira, who's 35 and shitty, and ain't giving me, like, come on. This is his career since getting cut since UFC. He's not very good. So then, on his walkout, they were hyping that up, but it's like, Alex Oliveira is 35 and got cut by the UFC for a reason. 35 and shitty now, so I am not very impressed with this Kiefer Crosbie dude. Yeah, maybe he's good. I didn't see anything positive from him, so yeah, And he has no idea how to defend a rear naked choke. What the fuck was he doing? By the time he tried to defend it, he was already fucking tapping. Dumbass. So, yeah, really not much to say about this fight. I'm not gonna do a fight idea for either guy because A, I don't care, and B, it's hard to make a fight idea for a guy who just made his debut. I think after their second fight, you can really get a good fight idea. But right now, especially with not a great performance, like if they have a good performance, of course they come in well known, like a Bo Nickel or some shit, then sure. But I really don't know who they're probably, like, I know Jousset called out Ian Gary. Gary wouldn't waste his fucking time with this dude. He's a fucking nobody. So yeah, Jousset, like, the fight I would do for both guys, Jousset, of course, gets to step up. Someone like, off the top of my head, at welterweight, like, like fucking Ramiz Brahimaz or some shit. Like, not a great fighter, but a step up, clearly. So yeah. And then for Crosbie, do you give him another fight? I don't. Maybe if you do, you feed him to someone off the contender series. So that's what I would do. So yeah, really not much to say about either of these guys. Fine. Should have been a contender series fight to open the card. And who should they fight next? Jousset should get a step up. Crosbie, if he does get another fight, should just be fed to someone, because I really don't think he's that good. So yeah. Fine debut for Kevin Jousset. Not much to say. 80th round. To go into our second fight of the night, a fight where I predicted the upset betting wise, but not Tapology wise. Good job, Tapology. You impressed me with this, but I'm pretty sure you had a dud somewhere on this card. So you still are not living down that Angelosa one from last week, because that was just stupid. I expect better. But enough about that. Let's talk about the next fight on the card, which I think is the first real fight on the card. As we have Gabriel Miranda versus Shane Jung. This looked like a Hamza performance. He got to the ground as quick as possible and subbed him. Amazing performance by Gabriel Miranda. Like, I thought there was a good chance he could win. Kind of. I didn't think he would sub him in 59 seconds. And dominantly sub him in 59 seconds. Like, Jesus Christ, what a performance. Of course, I'm going to talk about Gabriel Miranda first. Maybe this dude is good. He looked terrible against Benoit, but he's fighting Benoit up a weight class on short notice. I'll give him, I think I said in my breakdown, I give him benefit of the doubt. And this fight, back at his weight class, because 45 is definitely his weight class. He's not a big 55er. He's not a 55er. Like, you guys want to see what was the the height differential against Benoit? Well, he's 5'11", but he's not a big dude. So, but 45 is his weight class, and back down a weight class and a giant step down, he looked flawless. Of course, we saw none of his striking, but why strike when you don't fucking need to? So, overall, really great performance by Gabriel Miranda. Like, they hyped up his ground game on the walkout. We know why he has 16 submissions. He looked good. Is Shane Jung that good? No. Shane Jung's fucking terrible, and I'll talk about him in a second. But for your first win in the UFC in enemy territory in 59 seconds, great shit by Gabriel Miranda. Like, that. Very impressed. I'm very, very, very impressed. So, yeah, amazing performance by Gabriel Miranda. Definitely should have got a bonus. And now to talk about Shane Jung. What do you say about Shane Jung? he is trash. I really don't know what to even say. Like, I'm kinda speechless of how easily he got beat, how shit he is. Like, I did this for the breakdown, but I'll do again. Losing to Volk is fine. That, you lost to the best fighter in the world in your UFC debut. Beyond understandable. You beat two cans, as you should. Then you come back, you fight Ludwig Klein, you get knocked out by him. Okay. Ludwig Klein's a pretty decent fighter. And now that's 55, I believe. Oh, at catchweight. So okay, you can win that one. Well, you win that one. I give you benefit of the doubt. Omar Morales, you're starting to lose me. That's not really a great fighter to lose to, but fine. That's 2 in a row, but it happens. Then Blake Builder, and it's like, after Builder's last performance, it's like, really, dude? Like, Blake Builder's not good. Like, he's very green. Like, Kyle fucking Nelson beat him pretty easily. That's when it was like, he should have been cut right here. But then the Miranda fight, it's like, dude, it's over. There's no motherfucking way he gets another fight in the UFC. Unless he has Cynthia Calvillo's powers to get a new fight, no matter what, then fine. I don't know what you have on Dana or what you do with Dana, but if you can get another fight, props to you, man. But there's no way you can reasonably sell me another Shane Young fight. 4 in a row, and he's losing to worse and worse fighters every time. So he has to go. He's 30 years old. He just missed weight. He just does not look like he gives a fuck. So, and it's over. It's time for him to get cut. He'll go to Bellator. He'll go to PFO. Maybe getting cut is what he fucking needs. Because he needs to wake up. Because, dude, he's just been getting embarrassed. And this was the most embarrassing. So, just a shit performance by Shane Young. And a beyond impressive one for Gabriel Miranda. So, yeah. And lastly, to talk about who they should fight next, I probably won't give a fight idea for Miranda, because I don't know if I even could find one. But if I can, I'll give one. I think Miranda is a very interesting fighter. Like, he is 33, and do I really think he didn't do anything in the UFC? Fuck no. But I think he could probably win a couple fights against certain fighters. But who? How about... Fuck, Blake Builder actually makes a lot of sense if you think about it. Herbert Burns. Fuck it. Herbert Burns. He can fight Herb Burns. Herbert's not a 2-fight skid. He's a terrible fighter. Herbert Burns. There's your fight for Gabriel Miranda. I doubt they do it, but why not? So, yeah, fuck it, why not? So, yeah, and I said what I had to say about Shane Young, so, yeah, very not much to say about this fight. Great performance by Gabriel Miranda. Very impressive. And who should they fight next? I like Gabriel Miranda versus Herbert Burns. And Shane Young needs to pack his bags. He is out of here. Not much more to say. After that, we hit our first decision of the night. Our first fight that did not end by submission in the first, which of course I predicted that. It didn't end by rear naked choke either. And we go into our last early prelim, which is Charles Radtke versus Mike Mathetha. I'm not calling him his cool nickname. He don't deserve it. Not very much to say about this fight. It went pretty much how everyone expected. Charlie's just a better fighter, which says a lot about Mike's talent. In round 1, it was kind of close, but I do think Charlie clearly won it. No, I won't think, but I do think Charlie did win it. Round 2 was clear for Radtke. He rocked Mike really bad, and won the round. Round 3, close round, but Mike really fucked himself, kneeing Radtke in the nuts like 3 times. So he got a point taken away, and that was a nail in the coffin because he was already down. He was gonna lose the fight, so yeah. And he did. Every judge gave the fight to Radtke in different ways, but they got it right nonetheless. Yeah, Mike Mathetha sucks. He might legitimately be the worst male fighter on the fucking roster. He is fucking terrible. Like, he's not gotten better. Like, oh, fine, I'll give you a pass. Jeremiah Wells is really fucking good. But Oran Kosi, really? He dominated you pretty much. And Charles Radtke, who I said during the fight, Radtke's gonna lose to whatever guy he fights after this, because he's not good. He's fucking terrible. But he looked like fucking a world beater against this motherfucker. Like, what the fuck? Shane Young deserves another fight before this dumbass. He sucks so bad. He's 35 and he is trash. Like, he is just so fucking bad. He might be the worst male fighter on the roster. He might be the worst fighter on the whole roster, the more I think about it. Fuck. So, there's no, especially with what happened in the main event, there's no way Izzy can get him another fight. He's done. And for Radtke, there's not really much to say about the fight, if you know what I mean. He won, as we all knew he would. But he's not good. He's really bad, actually. He's pretty fucking bad. And I definitely see him joining Mike on the chopping block in a couple fights. Because who do you fucking give him that he can beat now? Like, he's trash. He's legit fucking garbage also. But again, he actually looked good compared to fucking Kickboxer boy. Like, what? How do you fucking have... You've been off for a year and you still ain't all do fucking kickboxing? Dude! Bro, boys! What are the CKB boys doing? What are they fucking doing? Like... What? Do they fucking train? Wrestling? Do they fucking train? Him and Izzy both did not fucking train for the fights on this card. So, I'm gonna stop ranting about him. He's so bad. So, not much to say about this fight. I don't care who they fight. Good chance in neither fights in the UFC again, so, yeah, I think... I don't care who Radtke fights, he's gonna lose, and I don't care who Mike Mathetha fights outside the UFC because he sucks. He can go out with the coolest nickname at Burger King because he is shitty as fuck. So, yeah, not much to say. Okay performance by Radtke, but he's not a good fighter, so not much more to say. Those were early prelims. Not really much to take away from it. Jousset looked fine, Miranda looked great, and Radtke looked subpar. But now I get into the real prelims, which were decent, very decent. And we begin with a lightweight fight, which was pretty good. Probably the second best fight on the card. As we have Nasrat Haqparast versus Landon Quiñones. Yeah, pretty much went how I expected. A little too closer than I would have thought, but still pretty much how I expected. Nasrat easily just won. He's a better fighter. Like, he did not have his legs most of the fight, and he still beat Landon. Landon's just not that great of a fighter. He's a dog. I'll talk about Landon first, actually. He's a dog. He showed a lot of heart in this fight. He got rocked a good amount of times, but he kept coming forward. He's a dog. He had that dog in him, but he's not a good fighter. Like, he's really not that great of a fighter. He's very green. There's a lot of holes in his game. And again, he's just not that good of a fighter. Like, I don't know. Like, maybe he could win a fight or two off his toughness, but not against Nasrat Haqparast. You ain't doing that shit. So, yeah, respect to Landon in this fight. He did show up and give Nasrat a better fight than I thought he would. Nasrat was my second most confident pick with Manel Kape. And Landon put up a fight, but he couldn't. If he kept going to the leg kicks, because in round 2 he had Nasrat's legs cooked, but he stopped it. He tried to strike with him, which is why he lost. He was just not gonna be. He's not able to strike with Nasrat. So, yeah. Overall, like, respect to Landon, but he was not gonna beat Nasrat on short notice, no less. So. Good effort, but was not going to happen. To talk about the winner of this fight, Kelvin Gastelum. Nasrat's such a frustrating fighter. Like, he has a talent. He's one of those guys, like many others, who has all the talent, but they just look so shitty or subpar in fights they should win. Like, he had this run which got him very hyped up, but then he meets Drew Dober, and that's fine. Drew Dober's great. He beats Munoz, that means nothing. He had that super close fight of Rafa Garcia, which has aged weirdly. He loses to Dan Hooker, fine. He loses to Bobby Green, fine. Two good fighters. He beats John Makdessi, fine. I don't remember it being that dominant performance. He did fine, and then he has a great fight, but kinda not a dominating performance against Landon Quiñones. Like, he is such a weird fighter, cause like, with the skills he has, he should be running through John Makdessi, Rafa Garcia, and Landon Quiñones, but he's not. Like, and he looks terrible when he fights actually good fighters. Like, Bobby Green picked him apart. Dan Hooker beat him easily. So, he's just a really weird fighter to watch, because he has the talent, but he's only 28 years old also, so he could get better. Like, he goes to an amazing gym. He fucking trains with GSP, but he's had GSP in his fucking corner before. Like, he has fucking Firas Zahabi. Fucking a great coach. You go to really good gym. Arnold fucking Allen. Wonderboy Thompson. Rory McDonald went here. A lot of decent fighters have came out of this gym. And Nasrat's not a bad fighter. He just doesn't show up that well in fights. And it's annoying, to be honest. So, I don't know. It's frustrating, but he got to win nonetheless, but still, should have been a more dominating performance against a guy he is levels above skill-wise. So, the skill gap's really wide in this fight, I think. But, whatever. To talk about who they should fight next. For Nasrat Haqparast, I don't know. Could you give him a big fight up after this? Do you throw him back down? I don't know. The only fight that I'm seeing, and I looked at this earlier and it's still the only one jumping out at me, Thiago Moises I don't remember who I said Moises should fight last week after the Benoit fight, but I think this fight makes most sense. Nasrat and Moises. Moises just got destroyed by Benoit, which is beyond understandable. Nasrat's coming off a very underwhelming performance. Why not? They've both been about the same position for a while. Why not have them fight already? That's what I would do. And then for Landon Quiñones, who is probably on page fucking 3, to be honest. Again, respect to Lando. He looked fine in this fight. He showed heart. But, yeah, I don't know who he could really fight. Definitely a step down. A giant step down. So I hope they give him a good fight in his next fight. And if they do, he could win. Like, if they give him a big enough step down, he could win. So, just give him a step down, is what I think. So, yeah. Overall, fun fight, second best fight of the night. And who should they fight next? I like Nasrat Haqparast versus Thiago Moises. I like Landon Quiñones to get a step down. Nasrat and Moises makes a lot of sense in my opinion. So, yeah. Not much more to say. Good fight, boys. After that, we stay at lightweight for another this fight I thought was gonna be the best prelim fight, but it was just pretty subpar. As we have Jamie Mullarkey versus John Makdessi. Interesting fight. These scorecards are fucking stupid. Makdessi clearly got round 1. He knocked Mullarkey down late. In round 2, it was if you swap these two, then it makes sense. Makdessi got 1, Mullarkey got 2. Round 3 was I think it was a clear 1-1 going into the third, and I think you could give round 3 either way. I scored it for Makdessi. I think Makdessi won this fight, but I get scoring it for Mullarkey. It was a super close fight. I'm not mad at the decision. It's not a robbery by any means. I did see a few people say that, but I don't agree. Makdessi got the first, Mullarkey got the second. The third could go any way, and I could see scoring it for Mullarkey, so I'm not mad at it. It makes sense, and yeah, again, I'm not mad at it. Decent fight between two veterans. I'll talk about Makdessi first, since he's the guy who doesn't fight that often. I'll start with the obvious question. Should he retire? He's 38 years old, and yet he's not a bad fighter. He's still fighting at a decent level. Like, he just went in his last. He just had a really close fight with Jamie Mullarkey. But let's be honest, he barely fucking fights, and so by next time he fights, he's gonna be 39, and maybe. And he's just getting older. Lightweight's getting younger and better. Should he retire? I wouldn't be mad at it. I think he should have one more fight. Next time they go to Canada next year, he should be on that card and he should retire. If it's a fight night, then on the main card. If it's the prelims, then maybe like the featured prelim or some shit. Let him go out in Canada, because you know you're gonna go back to Canada sometime next year. Put Makdessi on there, let him retire. If he wants to, I think he probably fucking should. So again, 38 on a 2-fight skid at lightweight. That's good. Again, he looked good in this fight. He could have won it, but he left. Did he look good in this fight because he's still pretty good, or Jamie Mullarkey is kind of not that great? So, yeah. Not much to say. And then talk about Mullarkey. He's a guy who you would think should easily win this fight, but he didn't. I thought he was going to win this fight pretty soundly. Maybe a little wrestling, maybe just be able to be better on the feet. But he didn't, and it's fucking weird. It's very odd how he did not look that great. Again, like, if you look at his wins, and his last couple wins, MJ was a super close fight he could have lost. Prado, he looked good. That was a clear win. And this was a very close fight he could have lost. And then he got clipped by Naimov. I do think it would never really stop you, but still, you got clipped by that guy, so kind of hard to play devil's advocate there. Yeah, Mullarkey's a weird fighter. His chin's very weak, and that's gonna be a downfall of him more and more. His chin's, if he didn't get dropped in round 1, it would have been a clear win for him, probably. But getting dropped in round 1, like he always does get dropped, really hurt. So, yeah, he's had so many awards, his chin's just getting weaker. But, yeah, dude's not a bad fighter, he's just inconsistent. He doesn't fight to his skill level. And, yeah, he looked very subpar in this fight. But, yeah, not much to say. Decent fight. And who should they fight next? For James Mullarkey, there's one opponent that caught my eye earlier, and I think I'm gonna go with that one. Yeah, fuck it. I think he should fight Nazim Sadikov. Nazim 2-0 in the UFC, underwhelming, a pretty bad performance, and a nice win. Jamie, another dude who had those performances, why not have them fight? Jamie and Nazim, sounds like it makes sense to me. So let's do it, book that fight. And that just screams a banger. And then for John Makdessi, I don't know, because it's hard to give him a fight idea because he doesn't fucking fight. He's not going to fight for a year, so I'm not going to give him a fight idea because he's not going to fight for a year. So it's kind of fucking hard to give a dude a fight idea when he doesn't fight. So, yeah, not much to say. Decent, okay fight, and who should they fight next? I like to see James Mullarkey versus Nazim Sadikov. I think that'd be a great fight, so let's book it. Overall, fine fight. Could have been better, could have been worse, and a questionable decision. After that, we head to the third fight of the prelims, and a disappointing ending, but an interesting fight. And we have Chepe Mariscal versus Jenkins. In round 1, Jenkins just picked apart Chepe in a very technical fight. In round 2, Chepe fought smarter, and he was doing good. He was winning the round pretty clearly. On the feet, he looked better. He got into the wrestling, and he started looking really good. In around the middle of the third and the second, he tripped Jenkins. We've seen it 100 times. But this Jenkins put his arm out to catch himself, and it completely broke or snapped. And it was over, obviously, so that's how Chepe won. Sucks to see in a good fight, in a fight that was probably going to be 1-1 going into the third. It's fucking annoying to see that happen, but whatever, it happens. Sucks to see a young dude go out with an injury like that, because now Jenkins is probably going to be out for a while. So, yeah, it fucking sucks, but that's how she goes. I don't got much to say about Jenkins. Just heal up, man. He's an instant prospect, but this really hurts the prospect to get an injury like this. So heal up, brother. See you whenever you can fight next year, hopefully. It's sad that we had him and Estela Nunes within 2 months of each other break their arms. Fucking vicious game. To talk about Chepe, who, as much as you want, of course, this on paper this is an amazing win. You just beat Jack Jenkins, and you beat Trevor Peek, but unlike the Peek fight, this is a very asterisk-heavy win. So, I feel bad for Chepe, because this could have been his huge win. Because it was right, like I said, 1-1 going into the third, he could have won the third. 29-28 gets that win. That's a giant win for him. But not winning like that, it's kind of sad. I don't think Chepe is a bad fighter. He's 30. He's had a lot of experience against UFC fighters. Maybe a few of them are UFC caliber fighters. And he's not a bad fighter. He goes through a great gym elevation. And he's looked, against Peak, he looked good. He looked really good. He showed heart, upper weight class like Miranda. But unlike Miranda, he won and looked great. Here in Jenkins, he was really turning it on before that arm break happened. It's sad that it did happen. So, I think Chepe is a good fighter. I think at any of the real weight class at 45, it could be interesting. Good gas tank, tough dude. I think he could have some interesting fights at 45. I don't think he gets too far. 45, the murderer's row, and I really don't think Chepe's that great. But I could see him getting some wins, a couple good wins under his belt. So yeah. And to talk about who he should fight next, there were some options. He said he's probably not going to fight again this year, so that's understandable. Relaxed rest of the year, but when he does come back, who could he fight? I like this fight. Gabriel Santos. Gabriel 1-1 in the UFC, really. I think it'd be an interesting fight. He's coming off a bad loss. Chepe's coming off a questionable win. Book this January, February. Will be a good fight. Let's do it. I like that fight. So, yeah, let's do that. Overall, shitty way for a really fun fight to end between two prospects. Again, Jenkins heal up. And who should Chepe fight next? I like the idea of him versus Gabriel Santos. I think it'd be a very entertaining fight and a logical step up for Chepe since he did kind of win this fight. So, yeah, not very much to say. Good performance by Chepe, kind of. And then to end the prelims, we had a very underwhelming fight between Carlos Ulberg and Da Woonjung. I don't know why Tafa doesn't say wound, because that's clearly what it is, but Da Woonjung. So, yeah. Not very much to say. First 2 rounds. Well, for all 3 rounds, really, Ulberg just picked apart Jung at range. And, late in the third, he got on his back and locked in a rear naked choke, and Jung tapped. Not much to it. It's a very easy performance by Ulberg. Just fight at range for most of the fight against the cage, and win. But he got the submission at the end, which is a little different. So yeah. My bad. To talk about Carlos Ulberg first, because that makes sense to talk about. This dude's actually pretty good. Like, in Nzechukwu fight, I don't think it was a bad look for him, because Nzechukwu's really good, and that was a great fight, but it wasn't a great look. Since he's rounded off 5 wins, yeah, the Sherrod fight sucked. It was a very bad performance. And Nzechukwu wasn't a great win, because it's Nzechukwu. This was when it really started. Miranda, who I thought was really good, flatlining him, impressive. Ior Poteria, who sucks, but another knockout. And then to sub Da Jung, his gas tank looked improved. That was a big question going into all his fights, but his gas tank looked better. And he just looked really well-rounded. His ground game looks fine. His striking's really good. He has good power, a good gas tank. He's looking like he could be one of CKB's best fighters. At this rate, he might be the best. Like, all you got is him and Kai, who are actually good. Hooker's okay. Izzy sucks. Yeah. Ulberg is really good. He's 32 years old, so he's right at the peak of his career, and light heavyweight's wide open for taking, especially at the lower rankings. Like, at the top, it's gonna be hard for him to get to this top level, but in this lower level, it's for the taking. And I think he could if you really put Ulberg in here with any of these guys, he beats most of them. He beats Smith, he beats Oostamir, he beats Span. Roundtree would be interesting. Murzakonov's really interesting. He crushes Reyes. He probably beats Menafield, and he probably beats Jacoby. So, the only guys who are interesting would be these. Murzakonov's just really good. Roundtree is Roundtree. He could be good or bad. Menafield, he probably does beat, so. And I don't know how he stacks up here yet, especially in the top. He might be able to do okay against Krylov at least, maybe not Walker. But I think with light heavyweight being so open for taken, I think Ulberg can do some good work there, and he definitely should be ranked. Just take Reyes out to rankings. Take Dominic out to rankings, move these two up and give Ulberg number 15. Is what I think you should do, but they won't. They'll just take Jacoby out for some reason. So, yeah. Ulberg is really good. Another guy is really wrong about. Go watch my fucking breakdown of the Sharant fight, or the Chukwi fight, or the definitely watch the one I did for the Negamarianu fight. I picked Negamarianu as a big underdog because I thought Ulberg sucked, but he proved me wrong really quickly. So good for Ulberg. He's pretty good. To talk about his opponent, Da Woon Jung. You either cut him or you give him one more fight. He's not that bad of a fighter, but he's not a good fighter. Like, if he wins in the UFC, shitty fighter. This looks terrible. Good job. Who hasn't beat William Knight? That's aging weirdly, but that's not bad. But then, you can't get mad at it. Can't really get mad at it. And you're not mad at it. So he's losing good fighters. And he beat one really good fighter, but besides that, he beat 3 cans. And he had a draw with Sam fucking Alvey. That looks really fucking bad. I don't know. Jung had a lot of momentum, but he really fell off a cliff bad since that fucking Jacoby fight. So maybe they give him one more fight. I'd probably cut him, but you could give him one more fight. I don't know. It's a really tough one to call. Either decision, I don't think, will be wrong. So, if you give him another fight, fine. If you cut him, fine. I don't think anyone's gonna be mad with either outcome. So, yeah, not much to say. And the only thing left to say is who should they fight next? For Carlos Ulberg, I would like to see him fight Dustin Jacoby. Jacoby's coming off the win against Chukwi. Makes most sense. Like, he called out Dominic Reyes, but who even knows what Dominic Reyes is doing anymore? So, and what does that prove? You knocked out Dominic Reyes. Good job. Who hasn't? So, yeah. I think he should fight Justin Jacoby. I think it'd be a really good fight. Would answer a lot of questions about Ulberg, and I think it'd be very interesting. So, that's the fight you should do. And then, for Jung, I don't know. Either cut him or give him one more fight. So, yeah. Overall, good performance by Carlos Ulberg, and I think he should fight Dustin Jacoby, because that'd be a really good fight. So, boom, the prelims are done. Fine prelims. This was okay, and not really. This was really good. Whatever. Fun fight. Underwhelming fight. Sad ending. Okay fight. So really the best, I think the 2 best fights on a prelim were Nasrat and Miranda. Everything else was either mid or not that great, so, yeah. But now we move on to the main card, which was pretty okay. There's, not very much great I can say about a couple fights, but, I don't know. Really don't got that much to say about a fight or two, but, yeah, let's get into the main card. Not gonna waste any time on the first fight. Pedro and the Pleasure Man. Pedro has to beat up Cans to win a fight. Nothing more to say. He's not good. Tyson Pedro's fucking terrible. And so is Anton Turkalj. My god. Turkalji's fucking garbage. Cut him immediately. And again, Pedro has to beat the bottom of the barrel fighters to get a win, so that's how good he is. After that, we head into the second fight of the main card, which was Justin Tafa versus Austen Lane, the rematch. We actually got a winner. Tafa knocked him out like Tafa does. Lane is not good. I'll talk about Lane first. He's not a good fighter. His how he fights could work if he was actually good at it. He tries to fight at range because he's a giant fucking dude. He is fucking 80-inch reach, 6'6", fucking jacked dude. His style could work if he was good at it. He's just not good at it. And that showed against Tafa here. He's just not that good. And Tafa's a super one-dimensional fighter. And without lane fights, his lane style is meant to be Tafa's. Keep it at range. You have the reach range. You have the height advantage. Don't get clipped. Win. Everything I just said, he did the opposite. So, I don't know. The dude has potential, but is 35 years old. His style could work, but if it ain't working against a guy it should work against, then what can you really do? And then for Justin Tafa, not much to say. He's the king of the unranked heavyweight can killers. He does not beat good fighters. Henry Hunsucker's garbage. Parker Porter's garbage. Austin Lane ain't very good. So, Tafa's just entertaining. He's not a good fighter, and he shouldn't. I'm seeing people say, oh, he should fight a ranked guy. You should do this, you should do that. No. You keep him where he is. Keep fighting these unranked guys. Win some, lose some, go home. He's not that good. He's just entertaining, and that's what we need. Especially at unranked heavyweight, which has, no entertainment. Tafa's enjoyable to watch. Because he's getting knocked out or he's knocking someone out, so. Crazy to look back that, going into this fight, he was on the chopping block's door. And now he is 7-3. Good for him. Yeah, good for him. Good for Tafa. I don't know who he could fight. I like the idea of him fighting Mohammed Usman after he beats Jay Collier next week, so, yeah. Not very much to say about this fight. Low heavyweight's a coin flip always, and of course I look stupid again. So nothing new. Not much to say. Lane's not very good, and good performance by Tafa. So yeah, not much more to say. After that, we head to the fight of the night, a banger at flyweight between Manel Kape versus Felipe dos Santos. I want to talk about Felipe. Well, I'll talk about the fight first. It was a pretty clear-cut fight. Kape was better for 3 rounds, but fucking Felipe put up a fight. And I'll talk about him first. This kid's gonna be good. When he needs a little more experience, but after he gets a little more experience against fighting lower-ranked dude, unranked dudes, he's gonna be a problem. He's really fucking good. He really put Manel Kape on notice early in this fight. Cause Kape went in with no respect for him. He gained that shit quickly. Felipe's really good. He's from Shoot to Box, which only produces good fighters, I swear to fucking God. Do they produce bad fighters? GOAT? No, we don't talk about him. He's really good. He's pretty good. Polly's okay. He's really good. He's alright. He sucks. Felipe's really good. And the only Gordon Paul is fucking terrible. Jesus Christ. But yeah, Shooter Box is really a gym on the come up. Just this year, we've had Felipe dos Santos, Daniel Santos, Elvis Brenner, and I think even Alan Nascimento, if people actually paid attention to his last fight, all put their names on the map. And then, you got Charles Oliveira about to win his belt back, for fuck's sake, so, yeah. I'm really impressed with Felipe. He's one of the most impressive fighters on the card, and he lost. I can't wait to see him fight again. He might fight again by the end of the year, knowing this crazy fucking kid. I hope he does. I want to see him in there ASAP. He's really good. Want to see him in there with a step down, a guy he can and probably will beat. And I can't wait. He's really fucking good. 22 years old. Actually, I think today's Monday is his birthday, so happy birthday. And, yeah, he's really fucking good. I really can't wait to see him fight again. And by the way, he would have got a contract on Contender Series so easily. To talk about his opponent, Manel Kape. Kape really made himself look stupid all week, and he didn't help with his post-fight interview. Kape's really good if he would have came in this fight with respect for Felipe, he probably would have knocked him out. But he came in here, like, thinking he's the top dog. He's gonna fucking run in here, knock out Felipe, without breaking a sweat, piss everyone off, blah, blah, blah. Ain't even close to what happened, G. So, Kape's, like, super good, but, I don't know, he needs to fight smarter, so, yeah, not much to say. To talk about who they should fight next, no question you gotta do Kape and Kai Kara-France. They wanna fucking kill each other. You gotta do that fight. No fucking doubt in my mind. You gotta do that fight. And then for Felipe, Charles Johnson? Ow. Yeah, I like that fight. Charles Johnson's always should be an easy win for a guy like Felipe. So yeah, do that fight. Never much more to say about this fight. Great fight of the night. Kape should have won in here with respect, and Felipe left this fight with all the respect of everyone who watched it. So, and last thing to say, who should they fight next? I like Manel Kape versus Kai Kara-France. You gotta do that fight next. And I like Felipe dos Santos versus Charles Johnson. Easy one for Felipe. Get him his first UFC win because he deserves it. Fun fight, boys. Not gonna say much about this fight because it was sad and painful. But I'll give Volkov respect. He looked good. Ty, come on, man. And really no idea who Volkov could fight right now because he'll be number 6. Who could he fight? Everyone's booked up here. He's not gonna fight Pavlovich, for fuck's sake. He's not gonna fight Don again. He's not gonna lose to Aspinall again. And who's under him? Spivak just got embarrassed. Derek Lewis? Maybe. I don't know. He's definitely a dude who just has to wait and see what opens up for him. No, have him as a fucking backup for Blades Jayaltan. Oh, and fucking... if someone pulls out of, like, let's say they do, I don't know, if someone like when they do Aspinall and Pavlovich, if someone pulls out, you throw them right in there. I don't know, Volkov, like, heavyweight's a clusterfuck again, but that's heavyweight, man. And again, respect Volkov, dude's on a 3-fight winning streak, I believe. Yeah, Jorginho, Romanov, and Ty, so... yeah, good for Volkov. Dude's not a bad fighter. So, yeah, good performance, and not much to say. I got little to say about Ty, because I'm just sad. Like, we all love Ty, but, man, what is going on, man? These two are understandable. Come, you could do better. He looked terrible. He looked fucking terrible. And speaking of looking terrible, let's talk about the main event of the evening. One of the best fights of the year. Sean Strickland versus Israel Adesanya. Oh my god. It happened. Izzy got fucking embarrassed. Strickland dominated. He made it look easy. He made it look fucking easy. Who do you talk about first? I want to talk about yeah. Let's talk about Izzy first. First of all, he ain't my middleweight goat by any means. Second of all, I don't want to hear a fucking excuse. No, he lost. I don't care if his fucking toe hurt or whatever. He lost. And third of all, he fucking got embarrassed. From pillar to post, he got his ass beat. Like, he didn't do anything to Strickland. Besides he made Strickland laugh at how easily he beat him. Because what the fuck? Izzy didn't even fight. He ran away for 15 minutes. Like, he tried his pussy ass fucking runaway fighting style and it didn't work for once. Thank God. If he fights like a fucking bitch and no one actually likes... Let me say this. People all we get out of here. Oh, Izzy's the biggest star in the UFC. Oh, he's one of the best. He's a middleweight GOAT. No one cares about Izzy, because no one likes Izzy. Do I need to bring up his fucking dog? No one likes Izzy. If you do, you're kind of fucking weird. Like, after that shit that has come out, like, all this week has, the last 7 days for Izzy has been the worst week of his life. All week he had to deal with dog shit, which, that shit's disgusting. Then he gets completely embarrassed by Strickland. And then he runs like a bitch from the press conference. Like, dude, if he would have sat there like Sterling, like a man, and answered questions, I would have a little more respect for him. He ran away from the fight. And he's probably already made excuses, from what I remember seeing. So, his coach tried to make him. So, yeah. Everyone on Earth, Dana, DC, all trying to make excuses. He got his ass beat easily. So, yeah, not much really to say. To talk about the champ, Sean motherfucking Strickland. I don't even know what the fuck you can say at this point. He should be on a 4-fight winning streak. He got robbed against Cannonier, we all know it. And what he ran through Izzy like it was not. When fucking Jared Cannonier, fuck Jack Hermanson put up more of a fight. Jack fucking Hermanson put up more of a fight. Dude, Izzy sucks. Izzy low-key sucks ass, man. Strickland embarrassed him. And he didn't do anything special. He fought like Strickland. It makes him... Did Izzy watch tape? I'm confused as fuck. But we have a new middleweight champion. Sean motherfucking Strickland. What can you say besides wow? And by the way, this ain't the biggest upset in title fight history. It's just not. It's probably number 3. If you said number 3, I'm okay with it, but it's not Sarah or Pena level. It's number 3. So, yeah. What can you say besides respect to Sean Strickland? He shut every motherfucker alive up, including me. I picked him and I didn't think he was gonna win. So, yeah. Respect to Strickland, man. He shut every human alive up, besides himself. Because, actually, no, even himself, because he didn't think he was gonna fucking win. So, and now the UFC has the most entertaining champion in history, not talking fighting-wise. So, that will be interesting. They're gonna try and get this bout off this man quicker than you can fucking say and no. So, yeah, Dana White fucking hates life right now. But, what can you do? And no. And now to talk about the most interesting part. Who should they fight next? And I agree with a lot of people. You don't do a rematch. You don't. What you do is this, in my opinion. Strickland versus Duplessis. And then Izzy fights the winner of this fight. And if you're wondering why, why should he get a rematch? He's 1-2 in his last 3 fights, and it wasn't a close fight. He clearly lost. Who was the guy who was meant to get the title fight? Drakus, who, might I add, oh my god, Drakus would have killed Izzy if he fought with how he looked tonight or last night against Strickland. So, yeah. Strickland versus Duplessis. Book it for a title. And then the winner fights the winner of Izzy versus, let's be honest, Khamzat. So, yeah. That's what I would do. That's what I think makes the most sense. Because if you do a rematch here, what do you do with this guy? He already beat him. He's not going to fight him. And by the way, he's not getting a title fight. No one cares about Jared Cannonier. So, he's coming off he's fucking whatever. He's not gonna fight him, or him, or him. Who the fuck does Duplessis fight if they don't give him a title fight? Do they just have him be the fucking backup and fight the winner? You could do that, but why? Just have these two, have Strickland fight Drakus and Izzy fight Hamzat. The winners fight each other. Duh. Common fucking sense, people. No rematch. Izzy fights Hamzat. Strickland defends against Drakus Duplessis. Book it. Not much more to say besides congrats to the new champion, Sean motherfucking Strickland. America. Colby's next. Not much to say. Well, boom. That's the card. On picks, I went 9 of 12, 3 perfect, 5 25. Not mad at the ones I got wrong. Biased, shitty fighter. The bonuses were Fight of the Night, Manel, Kape, and Felipe dos Santos. Performance of the Night to Strickland and Tafa. I agree with the first two. I would have gave Tafa's bonus to Gabriel Miranda, but that's just me. I think Miranda deserved the other bonus, but whatever. And the last thing, if you missed the card, what would I tell you? What would I say you should rewatch? Miranda for sure. Haqparast was a fun fight. Mullarkey if you want to score it. If you don't, if you're screamish, I said that wrong. Don't watch. Skip. You could if you want. Of course, watch. Skip if you like MMA. And then definitely watch, though. Really, I would say we watch Miranda, Nasrat, maybe Mullarkey, maybe Chepe, maybe Tafa, Kape, and Strickland. Yeah. Skip, Jousset, Radtke, Ulberg, Pedro, and Volkov. So, yeah. But, yeah, that was a card. It was a decent card. It was about as mid-tier card as you could get. The main event pushed it to a little above mid. So, yeah, it was a fine card. And, yeah, now we head into UFC Noche, which is going to be it's not a good card, but it's interesting, at least. So, yeah, we got another title fight, boys. So this will be interesting. I'm excited. Well, yeah, I'll break down that card Friday, 1 p.m. EST. Like always, I'll recap the card more likely Monday, 10 a.m. 10 a.m. EST on Monday, or if I feel like it, Sunday, 1 p.m. EST. I swear, at least I'm doing them on Monday consistently, so, yeah. And, yeah, not much more to say, unless I'm going to say something. Please like, comment, sub, 100 subs to go by the end of the year. Tell me how you did on picks, what you saw the card, blah, blah, you know, the usual shit. Tell me whatever you want. And as always, RX... out. Colby's next to get the belt for America.